Today, we're looking at the Beast. That's the name of the Cadillac Limousine that chauffeurs the President of the United States. We'll see how the Beast has evolved since the days of President Bush, Obama, Trump, and Biden. We'll also see why its doors weigh the same as the door of a Boeing 757 and what makes the Beast weigh 22,000 pounds. And if you're looking to buy a used Cadillac Escalade, we'll look at which model years to avoid. So buckle up and let's get going. In a recent video, we looked at the armored Chevrolet Suburban that's used by the U.S. Secret Service in the presidential motorcade. As you can imagine, it has a reinforced chassis capable of carrying thousands of pounds of additional armor, communication systems, defense systems, and other electronics to counter a number of threats, ranging from an improved explosive device to rocket-propelled grenades and even anti-tank guided missiles. When George W. Bush was president, up to 24 of these cars were involved. With President Obama, that number reached 30. Today, not counting presidential state cars, there are about 45 vehicles in a motorcade. This includes vehicles for security service, emergency medical care, the press, and for road clearance. All these vehicles are used to serve and protect the presidential limousine. But do you know about the actual limousine that carries the president? The current presidential limousine used by Biden has been in service since September 2018. It was used to transport President Trump when he attended the United Nations General Assembly in New York City. The former president landed in a Marine One helicopter in Lower Manhattan and then boarded the Beast, also codenamed Stagecoach, which was accompanied by a large motorcade. The high-security limousine used by the president on state trips is actually one of several identical models that travel with him wherever he goes. It's believed that the Secret Service had 12 identical presidential limos in rotation. The very first Beast was used by George W. Bush during his 2 presidential terms. It was then that it got its famous nickname. Afterwards, when President Obama began his term in office, he too used the same limo, and so the nickname the Beast continued on. Interestingly, Cadillac had previously produced cars that could be customized into a presidential limousine, but by the first inauguration of George W. Bush in 2001, they were no longer being produced, so George W. Bush's state car was designed from the ground up by General Motors. The first Beast featured armored doors that were 5 inches thick. It also had bulletproof glass thick enough to block out parts of the light spectrum. Rumor had it that it contained sealed passenger compartments, equipped with its own air supply, run-flat tires, and a 7.44-liter engine. Confirmed accessories included a built-in 10-disc CD changer, a fold-out desktop table, reclining rear seats with adaptive cushions, and massage features. This presidential state car was clearly very heavy. Some estimate it weighed close to 14,000 pounds. The president usually travels with at least 2 armored limousines, likely at the recommendations of the Secret Service. You can imagine they're prepared for various possible scenarios. For instance, during a trip to Rome in 2007, one of President Bush's government cars made an unplanned stop for 5 minutes on the street. Apparently, it was for some technical reason. The car was restarted, but then was replaced by a spare limousine after President Bush arrived at his destination. When Barack Obama became the 44th President of the United States, the presidential limo was renewed. It entered service in January 2009 when it drove the 2 miles down Pennsylvania Avenue carrying President Obama from the inauguration to the inaugural parade. Compared to the previous model, this new Beast had more bulletproof glass than its predecessor, and also thicker armored doors to match. It also had run-flat tires and a fully sealed cabin to protect the president and passengers in the event of a chemical attack. In 2009, the presidential state car model was equipped with a night vision enhancement system, tiered gas cannon, onboard oxygen tanks, an armored fuel tank filled with foam to prevent an explosion, and pump-action shotguns. GM said the presidential vehicle was built to precise and special specifications, had undergone extreme testing and development, and also incorporated many of the top aspects of Cadillac's regular cars, such as signature design, hand-cut and sewn interiors, and so forth. Others have called it a tank with a Cadillac badge, and you can see why. It's fitted with Goodyear regional RHS tires, commonly used for medium to heavy-duty trucks, and it's clearly much heavier than its predecessor. Its estimated weight ranged from 15,000 to 20,000 pounds. Not surprisingly, due to its weight, the car had a maximum speed of 60 miles an hour and likely had a range of just 3.7 to 8 miles per gallon. The presidential limousine was not based on any single Cadillac model. There were rumors that the presidential state car was based on the heavy-duty GMC Top Kick platform. If so, it should either have had a General Motors Vortec 8.1-liter V8 engine or a Duramax turbocharged 6.6-liter V8 diesel engine. In its day, the limousine cost up to $1,500,000. out. By the way, I'm sure you can guess why the technical capabilities of the presidential limousines are just speculation. Obviously, the details are top secret for security reasons. This is a serious business, so they're only serviced by Secret Service personnel. The Secret Service even has a program for internally disassembling and destructing decommissioned presidential state cars so that the secret of its technical specs will be contained and not leaked outside. Today, the current model of the Cadillac One was ordered by President Barack Obama but wasn't completed until after its 2018 deadline. President Trump had the honor of being the first president to use this new presidential model. And today, President Biden is using it. Believe it or not, this updated vehicle is estimated to weigh over 22,000 pounds. This new version is built by General Motors and takes many design cues from the Cadillac Escalade. For one, the headlights look like they were taken from the Cadillac Escalade SUV, and the new grille is reminiscent of the latest Cadillac design trend introduced by the Escalade concept car. The new beast, like its predecessor, is a heavy armored limousine that's built on the platform of the heavy-duty GMC Top Kit and is lined with steel plates to protect against IEDs. I don't know what's under the hood, but it should definitely be a sturdy drivetrain capable of moving 22,000 pounds of aluminum, ceramic, and steel armor. Its outer walls are 8 inches thick. Its laminated windows are 5 inches thick. Fusion layers of reinforced glass and polycarbonate. By the way, only one window on the driver's side can be lowered, and only by 3 inches. Each door is believed to weigh as much as those on a Boeing 757. When the doors are closed, it forms a 100% seal that can prevent chemical attacks. And just in case, there's an oxygen supply for the president to use. The vehicle also carries a supply of blood with the matching type for the president and his wife in case the need arises for emergency medical treatment. As a protective measures against intruders, it has Kevlar reinforced run-flat tires, which eliminates the possibility of punctures and can keep the Cadillac One on the road for a considerable distance. But if for any reason the tires do not hold up, it can even ride on its steel rims. Among other things, it's also equipped with night vision devices, smoke screens, and even a cannon located in front under the hood to spray tear gas in case of attacked by a crowd. At the back, a special device on board is capable of spraying oil to gain distance if they're being pursued. GM won the $15.8 million contract for the current presidential limo, which includes the construction of 12 or more armored limousines. Each limo costs about $1.7 million today. The beast has little to do with the standard production version of the Cadillac Escalade, seeing as its chassis, diesel engine, and drivetrain are based on GM's heavy commercial vehicles. But fans of the Escalade will always say otherwise. If you want to ride like the president, then look at the Cadillac Escalade. The production version of the 2022 Escalade offers 2 engine options. The gas-powered 6.2-liter V8 engine is capable of producing 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. This allows the SUV to be much faster than others. It can accelerate from 0 to 60 in 5.9 seconds, making it one of the fastest in the full-size SUV segment. The 3-liter inline-6 turbo diesel outputs 277 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. It can tow a maximum of 7,700 pounds. Regardless of the engine choice, both are made to the same 10-speed automatic transmission that's been in use since the 4th generation. The 2022 model is in its 5th generation. And now, for the first time, it comes offered with an independent rear suspension. This allows for the installation of foldable third-row seats, which is great news, as previous Escalades had a sturdy rear axle that ran under the cargo floor, leaving no room for foldable seats. So if you wanted more luggage space, you had to remove the third-row seats. There are also 3 suspension options available on the new Escalade: a standard non-adaptive setup, a mid-level version with magnetic ride control, and finally an adaptive air suspension with integrated magnetic ride control. In terms of driver assistance, the new Escalade offers Cadillac's new Super Cruise semi-autonomous driving package, which includes lane keeping assist, adaptive cruise control, and lane change assist. Looking over the entertainment features, one of the main features has to be the large 38-inch OLED infotainment system. It is also arguably the most luxurious and well-finished cabin you've ever seen from General Motors since the Cadillac B cabin in the early 1990s. Prices start at $76,300 for the base, up to $101,600 for the top-end Sport Platinum trim. But if you've ever been inspired by the luxury and power of this SUV and are looking to buy a used Escalade, my advice is you skip past the 2006, 2014, and 2016 models, or at least take caution around those years. And here's why. You should expect a luxury car to be comfortable in every way, but the 2014 Escalade received several complaints about its lack of ride quality due to problems with the suspension. Buyers complained that when they bought new 2014 Escalades for $80,000, the suspension problem started as low as 35,000 miles. and repair costs about $1,700 to fix. Owners of the 2016 Escalade reported a deeper powertrain problem. Average mileage with transmission failure was only 2,000 miles, which is tragic for an SUV that claims to be a high-mileage car. Often, the only way to fix this was to replace the entire gearbox, which can be very expensive. The same can be said for the 2006 model, which was plagued by the same transmission failure. Of course, this is already an older model, but nevertheless, the average mileage for these malfunctions, according to Consumer Complaints, was 77,000 miles and cost an average $2,800 to fix. Of course, most of us, including me, will never be able to drive the Beast, but owning a production version Cadillac Escalade isn't. But now you tell me, are you impressed by the Beast? Have you ever been in a Cadillac Escalade, and if so, what are your thoughts? Please comment below and share your experience. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for your support.